My name is Marthe Lawrence, and I work at Terracina Grand. We have 2 memory care units, one on the first floor and the second floor. I don't know if all of you know, but we have a building going up, supposed to open in January of next year. It's a 2-story memory care building, 65 beds, I believe.
State of the art.
State of the art.
Yeah.
I'm excited just because we always have a list of residents waiting to come in, and we have a real need for an additional memory care building. So I'm excited for the new building, and I can't wait. On that note, what I do at Terracina Grand, I've been there for, it's going to be 4 years, in either September or October. Prior to that, since I've been in the nursing field, I've actually always been in memory care. And I'll give you guys a little background about why. As a young girl, 18 years old, so I remember I graduated high school. My mother worked at a memory care building, and so I went to work with her one day just to see what she did. It was after high school. I wasn't sure where to go. Believe it or not, I wanted to become a news anchor, and I thought, just probably wasn't for me, but I wanted to have more exposure, and I thought, well, I'll go with you. And I saw the way she acted with the residents, and the way she just, if somebody was, having an issue, she'd step in and just, let me help you. And I thought, I like that. So then I became one of their activity person. So I did activities with the residents for a while. And I said, I really do like this. And I spoke with the nurses and what they do, I observe. And so I went to nursing school. And I've been doing that since then. And then I decided to pursue a career, and I said, I want to go to med school because I love, I don't know if you guys are familiar with Dr. Gary, but I work with him at Terracina. He takes care of most of our residents in memory care. And I said, my goodness, I would love to become a geriatrician. So I did. I went to FGCU, I got my bachelor's in pre-med. Then I saw the cost of medical school, and I said, I don't think so. I said, I'll just pursue a higher career in nursing. So I'm pursuing my master's. But being a memory care director, you have to have a good feel for it. It can't be a job. It is not a job. It's not just a job. When people refer to my position as, this is just a job, I said, no, actually it isn't. Because it involves, you have to look at the whole picture of the residents, and you all, the family members, you play a big role. And sometimes, and most of the time I tell the families when the residents move in, actually, you have a harder time than they do. Because they move in, yes, it takes a while to adjust. And some people adjust faster than others. Sometimes some don't adjust. They go on a plateau for a while where things are okay, and then they may be packing all the time. We were talking about packing this morning, residents who pack. Some just do it on occasions. Like, for example, I have a resident, if he goes out to the bus ride, when he comes back, he wants to go to Johnson City, New York, where he's from. He says, I'm looking for the train. And so we have to just keep, come here. Let's go this way, Let's pack your clothes first, just to give him something to do, to occupy him, and then he forgets. So we use that to our advantage, the fact that after forgetting, not that I'm, I believe in that, it would be my hope in the future that we can get rid of Alzheimer's disease, because I enjoy working with the residents. They have the disease, so you just have to have someone to work with them who cares. And that's my position, is to oversee their care. I oversee what the doctors do. I look at their medications. I make sure that, are they getting too much of something? I emphasize quality of life, because you could be alive, but are you really enjoying life? So somebody on medication that's gonna make them tired and sleepy, I look at all of that. Falls, Falls are a big thing with us because they fall. They trip, they don't pay attention, not on purpose. Nobody wants to fall, but they don't remember that, I can't get up. So they try to get up and they fall. So my goal is try to keep the residents in an area where we always have a CNA or nurse present to just keep an eye on them. Emphasize exercise. I'm just bragging for a while, but recently Dr. Gary and I did a study on Tai Chi, where looking at the benefits of doing Tai Chi and how it decrease falls. And it did by 45%. And Dr. Gary actually went to the American Geriatric Association this weekend. I believe it was in Tampa, and presented our findings. We actually won. I was so excited. We actually won out of, it was a great accomplishment because we put a lot of work into it. We have somebody coming in every Thursday doing Tai Chi, and it did. Our falls went down significantly. And he said, Martha, there was really fierce competition. I mean, this is a very well-known organization, and there are lots of people from the medical departments, and we were the only one not affiliated with a academic, with a college or a university, but we did very well, and I was very proud, and I said, we want to keep that going. But sorry for veering off a little bit. With that, on that note, I watch everything, and you have to. It's, like I said, not only the residents, but the families. I have to make sure you guys are at ease when they come in, make you feel comfortable. I don't want you to come in and feel, oh my goodness, nobody's here to help me. So I make my presence, I'm very present, very hands-on. If somebody needs to be, if a resident, it needs some help right now, and a CNA, a nurse is not available, I step right in. I won't wait and say, well, somebody will take care of it. No, I take the whole, my work very seriously. And you have to, because the residents are depending on you to watch out for them, because they can't. They no longer have the ability to watch out for themselves. And some of the families, as you know, they're not in this area, or they may be even away from this country. So it's very good to have somebody to always be constant in contact. I will call families if medication change. If somebody's labs are out of order, call the doctor. If they fall, if I think they need to go out to the hospital, if they're behaving differently, any little thing. And probably you all know about urinary tract infections. Whenever there's a change in mentation, the first thing we do is, oh, let's collect some urine, because you never know. A urinary tract infection will make a memory care resident go berserk. I mean, there's no way to explain it. And everybody actually acts differently when they have it. Some people they sleep. Some are very agitated because they're burning. It hurts, it's uncomfortable. They can't tell you the minute. And some will hit because they don't know how else to tell you that they're uncomfortable, that they're hurting. So it's like I said, I take it very seriously and very personal. And sometimes it becomes a challenge because we lose people. And I see that we lose quite a few residents. And we had a memory service the other day, and 1 year we lost 40 residents. Not only in the memory care, but we have a building of capacity up to 200, and at any given moment we have 175 residents. So it's the whole area, but still I get to interact with all the residents, and it's hard. It's hard to see that, and you know what's expected, but we're humans, right? So it's still very hard to see the end when it is near. And we work with hospice. We have a hospice representative here to make that easy, not easy, but just make it an easier transition. Because when the end is near, in order for us to keep them where they are, in their home, I call it, hospice, a third party, has to be involved just to oversee their care in conjunction with us, to make sure that they have, that their last days are enjoyable to the best that we can, that they have the help they need. Sometimes we may need additional help, and hospice will step in. The nurses will come a couple times a week. They'll send out CNAs to help us give, baths and showers, stuff like that. And so I appreciate having hospice, as well as the Alzheimer's Network, because I'm always calling and saying, Clark, help me. I have a help. Call this family member, please. Try and get in contact with them, because you all come here, and that's great, because you all come here and you get educated with Clark and Debbie and Marianne. Some don't. They elect not to. I can give you an example. I have a resident right now, and it can be a challenge for me, as well as I think the families. I mean, it's definitely very hard on you guys, but to some people, they don't know how to handle it. The example I'm giving is that of a resident. Her son is, he's a police chief, very, well-to-do, very strong. He just can't handle the fact that mom doesn't recognize him anymore. So he comes and says, hi, Mom. She says, Mom, who's that? He's like, you're my mother. She said, no, I'm only 16 years old. I don't have a child. But he takes it, if I were in his position and was not aware of how things, are, I'd probably do the same thing. But he just chooses not to have a relationship with her just because he doesn't know how to deal with it. So I applaud all of you for taking the step and trying to educate yourself about this disease, because it is very, very challenging to have your family member don't recognize you. You know, sometimes they do. I see the residents, they revert, you know, some of them just, they oscillate between stages. Some days they'll say, oh my goodness, where's my daughter? The next day she may come and say, I don't have a daughter. So it's a challenge, ongoing.